viwana vya Afrika. Meme Afrika, oh meme Afrika. Meme Afrika, oh meme Afrika. Meme Afrika, oh meme Afrika. Watu mpandula viwana vya Afrika. Watu mpandula shashinye mwetu kwa fera. Meponyo letu ye lo shilongo chetu ye. Meme Afrika, oh meme Afrika. Meme Afrika, meme Afrika. Meme Afrika, oh meme Afrika. Watu mpandula viwana vya Afrika. Watu mpandula shashinye mwetu kwa fera. Meponyo letu yele manguruko mama. Meme Afrika, oh mother Africa, oh mama Africa, oh mama Africa, oh yeah. Africa, 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 Africa. Watu mpandula
Namibia, the country in the southwestern part of the African continent, bordering Angola in the north, South Africa in the south, Botswana and Zimbabwe in the east, Zambia in the northeast, and the Atlantic Ocean in the west. It has a surface area of 824,268 square kilometers and a population density of 1.7 person per square kilometer. The country has an estimated population of 1.8 million people, while its population growth is at 3.0% per annum. The country's inhabitants comprises of various ethnic groups speaking different dialects, but the official language is English. Like all other countries in Africa and elsewhere, Namibia has also a colonial history. After the first colonial empire of the Germans, which lasted for about 30 years, the country fell under the illegal occupation by its southern neighbor, South Africa. In the process of the decolonization, a nationalist liberation movement was formed in the country, the Southwest Africa People's Organization, SWAPO of Namibia, which spearheaded the liberation struggle until the country's independence on the 21st March 1990. In spite of the bitter struggle the people of Namibia had undergone to achieve self-determination, this independence was, however, realized through the United Nations supervised elections in the territory in 1989, in which SWAPO got the majority of votes and formed the government headed by its president, Dr. Sam Nujoma, who is up to today the country's head of state. At independence, Namibia adopted its supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia. Today, this constitution is hailed as one of the most liberal and democratic constitutions on the African continent, if not in the world. The government of Namibia in this constitution is established under three main branches, which operate independently from one another and only subject to the law of the land. These are the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. Apart from this, a policy of national reconciliation was also adopted in the country in an effort to unite the country's inhabitants who had been divided by the colonialists for many years. On the international front, the country is a member to the United Nations, the Organization of African Unity, the Commonwealth, the Non-Aligned Movement, the Southern African Development Community, and other international organizations. Today, Namibia has a non-permanent member seat in the United Nations Security Council. On top of that, It has also established trade links with many countries and organizations, including the Lome Convention, as a beef exporting country to the European Union. Since independence, the Namibian government has always put education on top of its annual budgets. This is in view of the fact that the aspect of human resource development is a key to social progress in any given society. In 1992, the University of Namibia was established, catering for education in all fields, up to the level of a PhD degree. President Sam Nujoma is the Chancellor of the university, and every year he officiates at the graduation ceremony at this August house.
To congratulate and thank you.
In terms of the economic development, the government encourages income-generating projects in an effort to address the problem of unemployment and the upliftment of the living standard of its people. The Namibian government considers the health needs of its nation on par with education. The main purpose is to improve the health status of all Namibians and to fight diseases by all possible means. The pillars of Namibia's economy are mining, fishing, and agriculture. At the moment, agriculture alone contributes 1/10 of the country's GDP. In the fishing sector, the country is today one of the top 10 in the world, known for best fish productions and exporting. By 1995, mining in Namibia was still maintaining its primary economic growth base, with diamond as its major mineral resources. Other mineral resources still to be found in Namibia include uranium, lead, zinc, silver, copper, gold, and many more. In terms of trade, Namibia has a free market economic policy. An investment policy is also in place to provide guidelines for the establishment and running of businesses in the country. Besides this, there is also an export processing zone in the country, under which both local and foreign investors operate and are also encouraged by the government to invest more in the production sector than retailing. Already, more than 45 companies from within Namibia and abroad have acquired the EPZ status and are currently operating in Walvis Bay at the coast and at Oshikango in the north of the country. Tourism is currently the fastest expanding industry in Namibia and in the world. Namibia, with its sunny weather, unexploited landscape, low population density, unusual fauna and flora, offers a wide range of tourist attractions. This has been testified through a steady increase in the number of tourists who have been visiting the country since 1980. In total, Namibia receives annually 35% of tourists from South Africa, 25% from Europe, and the rest are from the SADC countries and elsewhere. For accommodation purposes, the country has a higher standard of tourist attraction ranging from hotels, guest farms, and game lounges, most of which are today classified as one of the best on the world scale. Both tarred and gravel roads in Namibia are well maintained to enable travelers reach most of the major tourist attractions countrywide safely. The modernized Hosea Kutako International Airport in Windhoek caters for the needs of the international airliners and travelers. However, the country has also a number of regional airports and landing airstrips to accommodate tour and safari groups traveling by air. By traveling on the Namibian roads from south to north or from east to west and vice versa, one would come across a variety of spectacular sceneries and wildlife reserves. These include the famous Etosha National Park, the Namib Nauklof Park, Fish River Canyon, the beautiful sceneries of the Kalahari and Namib Desert, with various animal species and plants, as well as a collection of national monuments from pre- and colonial Namibian history. At independence, the Namibian government has inherited a fragmented culture of its people, the culture of divide and rule, which was introduced in the country by the colonialists. Today, this trend has been reversed through the policy of national reconciliation, under which culture and traditions are considered to be the unifying factors in nation building. There is no doubt, despite being the last born of Africa, Namibia has a good lesson to offer to its African brothers and sisters. This is, of course, in terms of peace and stability, investment opportunities, and above all, a democratic form of government. But in view of the challenges still facing the African continent in the next millennium, Namibia's contribution to world peace and stability are still vital. Therefore, the last OAU summit of the century in Algeria is for Namibia a step in the right direction towards a united Africa, progress and development in the African continent.